Hey, what's up? You're listening to The Awakening, and we got your homeboy TruthSeekah on the line, as well as King James, and we're going to be interviewing a Christian rap artist tonight by the name of SA-115. What's going on, man? You there?
Yeah. How's it going, dude?
Going great, man. I know you're working on an album. You're getting some music under your belt. You've been doing some shows and things like that. So we just want to talk to you tonight and ask you some questions, man, about your walk with God and you know what I'm saying, how you got started, and just really get to know you personally, and
Sure.
see where you go, you know what I'm saying, where your head's at with the album, where you're going, your influences and things like that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I guess I'll start off this interview, man. I'll start it. I guess we'll talk about, you know what I'm saying, how you was growing up. How would you characterize your family life while you was growing up, man? What kind of environment did you
It was interesting. That's about all I can say. We started out, we were in the charismatic type of circles growing up. When I was a little boy, we went to a lot of charismatic type churches. Some of them had some pretty whack doctrines, but we kind of went back and forth with that through my whole life. That is the charismatic circles, not the whack doctrine. At least I hope not. But anyways, so grew up, we've pretty much all my life we had a strong relationship with God as far as the family life goes, and there's been different times that it's been hard. Like a few years ago, I guess it's been about 8 years ago or so, a little bit over 8 years ago, we had a house fire, and that pretty much totally rocked my world as a little 8-year-old boy. I guess I was about 10 or so. But so anyways, it pretty much rocked my world back then, and but so we had some trials and stuff, but through it all, God never forsook us, and God just helped us to get through it all. So it's been a good life, I guess I could say. But anyway.
Hey, I want to ask you about like your ministry. How do you balance like your time through your ministry / rap and your family time?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I just that's a hard question to answer, because a lot of times I can tell you that a lot of times I'll get focused, get the focus off or whatever, and be focusing too much on the rapping or preaching or whatever, and then sometimes I'll get so laid back that I just totally forget. I'm supposed to be getting ready to preach somewhere some night, and I just totally forget about it until the last minute. So all I can say is whenever I have succeeded, it's only been by the grace of God. I can't balance it on my own. And I know that sounds like a lame answer, but it's the truth, at least for me. So.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna hit you with this. We got somebody in the chat room, and they're listening to the interview and everything. And I'm basically gonna play the devil's advocate for this person. They're saying, what I'm saying, by the order of logic and things that if there is a God, what I'm saying, they're saying if there is a God, that how do you know that God cares about you? You know what I'm saying? What makes you feel personally that there's a God in heaven, and how do you know that this God, cares about you?
Well,
deep question.
That's a deep question, and yeah, all I can say is God help me with the answer, because I know that I won't be able to answer perfectly, but here goes. I guess the answer is pretty much totally by faith. I cannot, I can't look around and say, oh well, look around and you look around at all the pain and suffering, and I could turn that around and say, oh well, God obviously doesn't care about me. But I look at it through the perspective of just, the fact that I don't get what I deserve, and that was that, you know, I've sinned so much and broken God's commands so often that I deserve to die. I mean, I deserve to be put to death here on the earth, and not to mention I deserved, you know, eternal hell. And just the fact that God's allowed me to live here on this earth, and beyond that, that God, again, by faith, I believe that God took away my sin through the perfect sacrifice of Jesus 2,000 years ago, and just that in itself is amazing. I mean, as far as the question, how do I know that God loves me and cares about me personally? I can say just because I know that my sins are forgiven because of Christ's death on the cross. And again, I can't prove this by, you know, mathematics. I can't prove this by science or anything like that. It's just by faith, and out of that faith, by what I felt whenever I invited Christ into my heart. You know, so
yeah, I think that's a valid answer because I think your experience is your experience and it's unique to you. So I think that's a good answer.
That's good because you understand the Bible tell you walk by faith, not by sight. Because faith is things unseen. You gotta understand that through Christ, all things He just reveals Himself every day. You just got the person that asked that question to answer another thing about that is, just take a breath, just breathe.
Yeah,
that's God. It's real simple for real, but it can't go deeper. It can go deep. It can go real deep. This conversation won't hold it. It can go real deeper than that.